I was so excited to see that you got cast in Sandman, though, and I really loved your performance as Orpheus.
Amazing, thank you.
So I'm curious, were you into Greek mythology before you booked the show?
Yes, I was. I went to kind of I guess a prestigious private school in Dublin called Belvedere College where they do Greek and Latin and everything. And I didn't do any of those. I thought it was ridiculous. And then after I went to college, I just, it comes up, you get into Jung or you get into Nietzsche or something. They were making so many references. You're like, okay, I'll check this out. And then you see why it's the true pantheon of everything and why all Western culture derives from here. Because the stories are incredible. And yeah, so I was really into Orpheus and like even Hermeticism and alchemy, which kind of comes down from that path. So yeah, but then it was just a great chance to become a nerd. It's nothing better than being paid to be a nerd, you know? I'm like, this is work. Wow, good for me, you know?
Absolutely. Okay, so do you have a favorite character in Greek mythology then?
Yeah, well, it has to be Orpheus now, really, and he pops up in so many places. But I love Hermes as well. Hermes is a very interesting character because he's not really anything. He's very undefinable, and the gods kind of respect him because he's able to be pally with the humans, and the humans are so impressed that he's able to, make it with the gods. He's very undefinable. I think that's where, yeah, Hermeticism and alchemy kind of comes from him, or Hermes Trismegistus is like this character that they kind of combined from him because it's amazing all those characters they just get combined into new ones like Batman becoming Superman and it's kind of like elements of Spider-Man which we do with comic books I guess. um Hermes is great. If anyone doesn't know about Hermes, look up some cool YouTube video about it because very interesting. He was a baby and he on the first day he was born he went and stole all the gods' cattle and then came back and was just I'm just a baby, it couldn't have been me. So it's interesting and strange.
Okay, so we have an entire episode where Orpheus is nothing more than a severed head.
Yeah,
How did that work on set? Did they make a cast of your head? Were you in a green suit? Tell me about it.
both of those things made a cast of my head, which I've had happen a few times now. Lovely experience. It's very meditative. I don't know if you had it done before.
No.
I recommend it to everybody, you know. Also interesting to get your head then cast after and be able to see it like other people do. I don't know. I also was like, I guess I'll probably kiss my own head as well to see what my girlfriend is like. What's she in this for, you know? Um, and then yeah, and then wearing a green suit, which was great because the other costume I wear is incredibly beautiful and ornate, and it matches Tom's or Dream's black wedding dress type thing, and they really. But I had to go to the underworld, and he wore it for like a couple of wedding scenes. You know, I had to walk until I lost my wife. I was just tripping over constantly, and sandals as well. It's like 7 shredded wedding dresses and then they just get caught in your heels and the costumer like, no, Rory, please don't move 3 inches backwards because we've got them perfectly laid out now. And I'm like, oh, okay, of course. And then I was into the green suit and I was just, into costume, put on your green suit, walk around like you're Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia as the Green Man. It's amazing. And then they sit you in a table and I'm always trying to be Daniel Day-Lewis on set, I guess. And they're like, okay, we'll take you out. And I'm like, no, I want to stay in it because this is what it's like for Orpheus. He's like, okay, whatever, we don't care. We'll go on with our job rigging. And then you realize people do kind of forget you're there. Sometimes the people would be doing things. They'd be like, oh my God, Rory, I thought you were the prop head. And I'm like, so yeah, I
That's,
got to feel what it was like, to truly be that.
was there any moment that they left you there and they like went to lunch? Just like completely forgot you.
I think I was like hoping for something like that, but unfortunately everyone there is on their job and they're more clued in than I might be in that situation. Yeah.
Excellent. So the character of Orpheus is also a very talented musician, and I know you sang in the show, but do you have
Yeah.
any other musical talents?
Ooh, well, I don't know if I call them talents, but I try really hard. I've been learning guitar as much as I could to make myself feel like I'm not terrible at it for like 15 years now. And I'm definitely a lot better than I was, but it just seems like the mountain just gets higher and higher. And you just feel like so I've been doing guitar. I've got like 7 guitars now at the moment, all of them are broken. And I've written thousands of like demos, not even really demos, like sketches of demos waiting to get better as a musician to be able to just translate them into a full song. So yeah, I'm always writing music, but that's just kind of like writing little short stories for yourself almost that aren't really fully gestated. So yeah, and my real musical talent on set was I wasn't able to play the lyre really because it wasn't tuned properly and it was more of a prop, but I could play. Eventually, I could play. What's that Tiesto song? The based on the classical piece, the famous.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It is not coming to me.
If I had the lyre here right now, I'd be able to play it. But I able to play it on one string, and then that felt like okay, I'm in. If I can play a single tune on a single string, and I got quite like techno with it. It was nice. Yeah.
I also heard that you recorded at Abbey Studios at some point. What was that like?
Yeah, we
Because
were.
iconic studio.
It was insane. I know like or Ray Beato, anyway, as in a YouTuber, famous musician YouTuber. He went there when he was like 18 and just thought he could be let in. And they were like, obviously not. Like this is a recording studio. And I got to be there on a weekend, and I was allowed to bring a friend who does music with me, maybe to help me warm up, maybe just for him to be there because he loves the Beatles so much. Somewhere in between. And my voice is a bit rough because honestly, the night before we'd sang Hey Jude like 15 times in my kitchen, celebrating the day we were about to have in Abbey Road. And I had to go and sing as the greatest singer of all time. And they're like, okay, your voice is really a bit croaky today. Go down into Studio 2 where there's pianos and we'll warm up and you can stretch. And that's Studio 2 is where they did basically everything. And it was the same pianos that they'd used. And they have the name, Betsy is the name of one piano, I think. And they got it out. And so just warmed up my voice and everything. And then a couple of times they're like, go warm up your voice again. You'll take a break or take a break for 5 minutes. I'd be like, absolutely. Walk out, run down. My friend Kevin got to stay in Studio 2 for like 5 hours playing the piano. We go and sing Hey Jude 3 more times in a row and then come back up and they'd be like, your voice it's a bit tired. I didn't know why, but that's what we did. And then they served Guinness as well there. There's a little bar. And so when we had Guinness pints after, and then I came back for a few touch-ups on the song a couple of weeks later, and it was just me that time. Kevin was away, and I was like, "Can I go warm up?" When they're like, "No, they're all taken." I was like, "Can I warm up in Studio 2?" They're like, "Obviously not. Obviously you can't do that." I was like, "Okay." It was just that one time, but it was enough.
You got the dream experience for the first encounter, which is amazing. Did you also go take the iconic photo outside on the crosswalk?
Oh yeah, we did, of course. Yeah, I think we did
Of
it
course.
when we arrived in the morning and in the evening as well to get maybe a moodier shot. Yeah, we did.
Nice.
Yeah, but it was also the most amazing thing was to like walk outside and see all the tourists, and then just walk in the front door. Kind of like slowly, like, hey, look at me. Make this more of an experience. You poor people outside will never get to do this probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I was one of those poor people outside 2 weeks ago. So yeah,
Oh
it's just
really?
yeah,
Oh wow. Oh, I'm sorry. You get to go in.
it's okay. It is okay. One day it'll be my turn.
Yeah,
Uh, so
we'll
between the flowy wardrobe and not having a body and all of the other unique sets of challenges for you on this, what was the most challenging scene for you?
To be honest, the most challenging scene was probably the first one on the beach because it was my first day of filming, and Tom Sturridge had decided not to go to Glastonbury that year because he was starting filming the Sandman season 2, and I decided I could do it 80% of it. So I missed Elton John on the last day, but like I know, I should have. I know. Missed.
Elton is my all-time number one. If you could see this, it's all Elton right here on my wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, maybe I should have been able to stay until that point. But they were collecting me at 4 o'clock in the morning to go down to that beach. But I was actually fine. I really had paced myself well for the weekend. And I thought it was good to walk around all the time and be imbued in music and the magic of music. I don't know if you've been to Glastonbury, but it's something else. It's very different. And then just when this came out, I just gone to Glastonbury just 2 weeks ago, and it just came out as well. So it's been 2 years since that happened. There was writer strike or the actor strike actually in the middle of it. So it's been a long time. But then then being on that beach and then immediately having to go into being in Sandman and just you're coming into someone else's amazing show, and suddenly it's all about you for a little bit, for like half an episode here and half an episode there, and there was a lot of pressure. And Tom is getting into his mode of being of he's not like you. He's not even like playing his son. He's meant to be something different. And I was like, oh no, he doesn't like me. He's not talking to me. I must be doing such a bad job. And then, but when I saw the scene on screen eventually, even just doing ADR for it, I thought, oh, actually, I kind of liked that. I felt that little bit less than him because there was a gap to reach over. But it definitely, I sat there on the beach going, this is all, I've ruined this show for everybody, you know? So it was a, yeah. I guess I was probably tired from Glastonbury as well.
I know we are short on time, but I have one final question. It's real
Yeah,
quick and we'll
so
get you out of here.
sure.
So, out of the seven endless, who is your favorite? I know it's hard. I know.
No, I like Destiny, I think, because I think that's a hard job to have. I think no one wants to have the ending spoiled for themselves, especially not of people that they love or care about. And I think that's one position I'd be glad not to be in. So I think I respect Destiny for that. But they're all pretty cool, you know?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time.
That was amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Chelsea.